What's up, everybody? It's the Tom Carlson Show for Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday, late night edition, September 16th, 2020. How are ya? If I look distracted, it's because I've got all the fans and everything shut off in my apartment. Windows are closed. It's cool. I'm wearing a sweater, and so it's quiet in here. And I have just witnessed / listened to. I guess I didn't witness. I witnessed it with my ears. One of the most psychotic, one-sided conversations I've ever heard in my life. There's a woman, and she sounds like she's about 23. I don't know. When she really gets going, she's got a little gruffiness to her, so maybe older. I think she just screamed again. And I have like a pretty nice group of neighbors. I think like some of them are old, so I did see some people trying to move in. But this person sounds like she may be in the stairwell, and is screaming as loud as I've ever heard anyone scream while making words, like "Shut the fuck up, mom!" and then like louder than so she's talking to her mother. That's all I got on that. So if I twitch my head to the left, that means things have escalated. But I've never been one of those people to like go up there and say, "Hey, you need to be quiet." Like hearing that much anger being screamed out is pretty fucking crazy. Just like if you have been a fan of the podcast or follow along, what river do I normally run on? The East River, right? And speaking of piss, I did see Kanye pissing on his Grammy today. So kind of a nice little change up on Twitter, Anyways, I run on the East River. Sometimes it smells like urine there because, as I was mentioning last week, I am now working for a security contracting company with the FBI. I am going to remove my. So the thing is, in New York, you'd think like some undergrowth next to a sidewalk you could just camp out at as a homeless person. And so you can't even do that. You have to get a broker, an agent, everything. So I have $2,000 into an application to get one of those homeless spots. And I'm going to try and get some of that back because I'm going to be staying here. But so I run on the East River. And it's still fucking blown up from, I don't know, the sidewalk collapsed on a part of it, so I'm doing circuits, running fast though. The other day, as in yesterday, I did 3 miles in like 7 minutes, 47-second per pace mile. But back to the point, this lady is still screaming out. Seems to have gotten a little quieter, but if you're screaming that loud at someone, you just hang up the phone, right? But I was out there running yesterday, and I have run on this path since COVID started, essentially, since the gym shut down. And I have been going out there through thick and thin. I know the homeless people. They wrote a relative recommendation for me to get my spot, and this is where I run. I kind of know the people that run there. And I'm going out. I bring my mask with me, and wow, dude, this is like police thing, like you'd call them, but I wouldn't do that. I just let it happen. My doors are locked. I got a podcast to do. And I have run on this path. People are probably like, wow, dude, I've seen that guy go from a 10-minute mile to a 7-minute, 47-second per mile pace for 3 miles. And so I went down, and I bring a mask, and I wear a mask like on the sidewalk. I still do. And I pretty much wear it correctly most of the time. Sometimes I let my nose sneak out a little bit. And so I get to like the part of the street where this big open pathway under the bridge opens up and you can connect onto this path. And that's where I take it off because that's kind of where people exercise. There's a little like green area. Pretty far away from most people. That's the most packed place up top where there's like benches and shit for people to sit on, and everyone's cool there. People even like eat food out there, no masks, right? And it's been this way the whole time. Even when there was crazy COVID, I still took my mask off here. And so I take my mask off, I start running down the hill. I'm like 2 minutes into my run, and this guy, whoo boy, I really hope you guys can hear this. I might have to go outside. It's getting scary. Dude, this is distracting me. This is just like a heckler, right? Someone who's screaming like she needs a mental institution. This guy, he's probably in his mid-30s, pudgy, wearing a synthetic Under Armour, just blanket logo shirt with like shorts that for me would fit, but for him to go over his knees. And he's got like these brand new, spanking new, weird running shoes, right? So this guy's like, all right, I'm going to get into shape all of a sudden. And he's got these goofball kind of like, they're like probably like $250 Oakleys, but they just look terrible on him. Something like that. And I'm running. I'm on the path now. I will pass people, and the path is like not that wide, but it's probably like, I don't know, like 8 feet wide at the skinniest. And so I pass people, but like it never has felt like a real, maybe in the very beginning, but it has never felt ever like I'm in someone's space or they're in mine, really. Maybe like once or twice every now and then. But we're pretty good with our rate here. And yesterday I ran during lunch because I was like, there's going to be even less people. And there wasn't anyone within like 20 yards of me the whole time I was running unless I'm passing someone. This guy's coming up to me, slowly jogging. I don't even know what's slower than jogging but not walking. He was doing that. And he screamed at me much like this lady is screaming outside. And because I'm holding my mask and I'm running by him. And he says, wear your mask, shithole. And I just kept running. And I really didn't process it quick enough to have any kind of response. I'm surprised I didn't just stop. And then I was just like, this motherfucker. But I kept running. A couple things caught me off guard. One, that he was that into the mask wearing outside this late in the game in New York where things are pretty good. And then the other was shithole. I haven't heard or been called that in at least a decade. I don't know if it's a New York thing. But I mean, this guy is why Trump is probably going to get elected again. Because the first thing I felt like doing that I thought of, the first thing was like, I just want to slap this guy aside the face. But I kept running and I was like, how can I get at this guy and just like make him even more angry? Because I don't know what's going on in his life. I mean, things seem pretty good. Like he's got new shoes. He's got those goofy Oakley sunglasses on. Look like he had a haircut. Give it a bad one. And like life's pretty good, right? He's out running during the week at lunch. And I was like, you know what would really piss him off? If I just went, because knew I was going to catch him, this slow guy. I was going to lap him. And I wanted to just scream MAGA in his face and just see what he did. But I figured this was just a perfect setup for someone to video camera me. And, next thing you know, I'm that guy screaming MAGA at someone because I don't have a mask on. But what ended up happening was I was like, this guy is so... Why is he screaming at me? What the fuck did I do? And I came back. I saw him. He was obviously not running anymore. And I was finishing up my run. It was like my second or third time through. And I ended up just like walking past him. I didn't even say anything. Mask off. He didn't say anything to me the second time. Maybe because he saw all the other runners without their masks on and was like, I'm tired of screaming. Hopefully this lady has. I cannot believe that. But that was, that pissed me off. Not terribly, but I was kind of shocked that that behavior was still going on. And while you have that going, I don't know if you guys have seen this everywhere else, probably, but a group of, I don't know who decided to make this. I thought it was a terrible idea. They have Paul Rudd acting as a millennial, telling people to wear masks by using, it's supposed to be this, satirical thing. But what's more satirical and then maybe like this is the only way we can get to them. But then you're really underestimating millennials, right? Like how dumb are we? But it was like wearing a hoodie, skateboard, saying shit like, I mean, I don't even know the lingo anymore, but it was like, oh God. Like for show and like whatever people use these days. New words. See, I don't even know them. But I'm in that group. I'm in the millennial group. And to me, it was just like, dude, they're just making, like, if I see that, and like, I wear a mask because I wear a mask. But if that is going to be the last thing to convince me to, if like, oh, dude, look at that guy. It's kind of being funny, making fun of us. Maybe I'll wear a mask now. I don't think so. So I don't know what that was all about. And how fucked are people's lungs getting right now? Good Lord. And the rest of our bodies. I mean, everyone might as well just start smoking. Because we have COVID, which, let's face it, it's probably everyone's got it. And we're just getting popped with tests. It goes away, everybody's got it again. So we got COVID going on. The smoke from the fires has reached New York. It's very little. But half of the United States is breathing in near toxic air quality. And, dude, it just keeps getting crazier and crazier. So the one thing that has remained the same, and this is killing me, is the Clippers fucking sucking. Because if you want to win a bracket type deal, usually you kind of got to go a little different. Usually if you just do chalk, where's the fun in that? So I did a little playoff bracket thing with my buddy and his friends. And I saw the Clippers play like one time. I forget who they were playing. And they were just running up and down the court. Huge length on the perimeter. And I was like, dude, no one can beat this team if they play to their potential. And I picked them. And, this would have been a lot more of an important loss had I not been recently employed. But, man, I was like, dude, I'm going to win this bracket money to pay for the next 2 weeks of food. And the Clippers, as California and Oregon, Washington are all on fire. People are breathing toxic level air out west. Coronavirus, they said, I just saw it today, there's like, we probably won't have a vaccine until middle of next year, which would be June. Unacceptable. And the one thing that has remained the same is the Clippers being the goddamn Clippers. So I missed out on an opportunity at some money because of those guys. Because This kind of hurts because I really like Kawhi Leonard, and he sucked last night. I think he was 4 for 22. And then I have never been more moved and entrenched on a player than Paul George, man. What? That guy is just like an intramural style player. Like, he's got great talent, where he just kind of just like, he's not out there to do anything other than just kind of like hoop around, you know? What the hell? So, yeah. My bracket is done. I don't think I have anyone in the. I may have one team left. I don't even think I do. I don't think I got anyone to the semifinals, which is pretty embarrassing. So, yeah. Breaking news today. And I'm glad I got to do this on a Wednesday because I will have, first dibs on it. All the shows start tomorrow. I'm doing it now. The Big Ten has embarrassed themselves and has shown their true colors. And now, instead of positioning themselves as the conference that is doing the right thing to protect the athletes, have caved and will start playing football in October. I will say it will be nice to have a decent noon game. For opening week with the ACC was pretty rough. There's going to be about one or two decent Clemson games to watch. However, I will say this is, we did play Wake Forest, and, that's not much. But I don't know if I've ever seen I've seen more talented receivers, but the whole team altogether, most talented team we've ever had. So we'll see about Ohio State, see about Alabama. But I don't want to hear about it. Any Ohio State people even feeling left out of a playoff if they go 8-0. But I guess maybe they do a championship game if they go 9-0, let's say. And there's 10-0 teams. There's a 10-1 team, particularly if they're from the SEC. So, yeah. Pac-12, I don't know what you're going to do. You got a hellscape out there. And, two of your states are on fire. There's COVID hot zones. We shall see, hopefully, but doesn't look like it. U.S. Open. Oh, yeah. So, NFL did start this week. I thought it was kind of boring. There was like a couple games that I liked. Well, what was the first one that I watched that was decent? Oh, God. See, that's how good it was. I did tune into the Bucs Saints game, dude. Tom Brady looks old. I will say that. Last sports thing for all you sports nuts out there, all my sports fans. U.S. Open is this week at where is it? Bethpage or Wingfoot? It's not. U.S. Open. That's embarrassing. I just talked about it at dinner. U.S. Open golf. Who cares about tennis? Wingfoot, which is here in New York. I don't know exactly where, but it is. And from what I've seen, over par is probably going to win this. Some caddy the other day dropped a ball on the green, or they hit it in from close range. Dude, they're still screaming. I'm not going out there and checking on this person. No way. Right? Isn't that the right decision? Stay inside. She doesn't seem. It seems like it's just her outside screaming. I don't know why she can't do that in her apartment, but it's echoing. No idea. But with a crazy person, you stay away, right? Wow, man. They put a chipped on, or not chipped on, they pitched on, and it took 45 seconds for the ball to settle, which is wild. So it's like hitting onto a granite countertop. My prediction, not necessarily prediction, but let's check the money line. Bovada, do an ad, Bovada. Let's see if I even still, there we go. Bovada Sports. Dude, this lady, I don't know what to do. No one else in my apartment's doing anything, and there's some people that will be. Okay, it's all right. Dustin Johnson is plus 800. I would pick him Justin Thomas is a great pick. He's at plus 1,200. Bryson is not going to be able to do shit on this course. You have to hit the fairway. Xander Schauffele would be a good one. But if I could pull for anyone, it'd be Dustin Johnson or John Rahm. We'll see if John can keep his attitude, being plus. But, yeah, I'll be watching that. I do have a new gig that keeps me pretty busy. And the show will be on Tuesdays. All right, guys? Yesterday I worked a lot of hours. Didn't have the energy. But I didn't have a crazy lady screaming in my apartment either. So, okay. Did this one a while back. And I haven't done it in a while. This day in history. And what I like about this is it's just like the same shit over and over, which you can take as either comforting or terrifying. I choose to think the former. Okay, so this is great. So and you know what, today, this is how screwed up I was. Now that I'm working again, I kept putting down on my notebook, today is the 9th. It's already the 16th of September. And now I'm doing the podcast on a Wednesday. Holy shit. Okay. And they're writing this, the wrong way. The way the rest of the world does it, except the United States. 16th of September, 1810. Mexico independence. So if you would have told me that Mexico was formed after the U.S. was formed, I would have been like, not sure I believe you with that. But yes, 1810, this date, Mexico declared its independence from Spain after 300 years of Spanish rule. Dude, the Spanish really kicked ass back in the day. And when I mean kick ass, I mean genocide. Same thing we were doing. Okay. Wow. 1920, Wall Street bombing. 1920. I did hear this crazy thing. This was back in the 90s. I was listening to a podcast. I forget of it. It's called Blind Spot. And it goes way back, from as far back as you can, a tiny thing, to what happened on September 11th. And this was, I think, maybe in the 80s. And then in the 90s, this guy described New York as the UN for terrorists, because there was Serbian, there was all kind. They would just do miscellaneous bombings all over the place that were political. But this is 1920. A bomb believed to have been planted by radical anarchists rocked Wall Street, killing 38 and wounding over 400. It was never solved, but was widely attributed to radical anarchists, or it was our own government. Let's see. Depression. Mahatma Gandhi begins hunger strike. Okay. Oh, in opposition to Britain's new caste separation laws. Census Bureau released its latest figures. Wow. Oh my God. So in 1990, or 1900, the U.S. population was what? What do you think it was? Say that out loud. 76 million. Okay. 1950, 50 years later, 150 million. And then we got busy, and now we're at what, 350 million? Dude, still screaming outside. How crazy is that? She's above me in the stairwell. I think maybe someone's going to check on her. Oh, they're settling things. Is there someone being dramatic? Can you imagine? Oh, yeah, I needed to get my oil changed, and my mom didn't make the appointment, and so I screamed at her. Wouldn't surprise me. These kids living around here, dude. Holy shit. Okay, what else is cool? Unemployment. Steve Jobs returns to Apple, 1997. Steve Jobs returned to Apple Computers, which he founded temporarily to run the company during search for a permanent leader. I think we know how that turned out. Oh, God. Dude, something's going on outside. September 16th, 2002, United Nations Iraqi weapons inspection. Jeez. That's about. Those are the cool ones. I mean, you got your normal unemployment. Leon Spinks lost his W. This is 1978. Leon Spinks lost his WBA. Okay. I forget with hockey, with boxing. How many different? What do you think that WBA hockey? This podcast is going to be all sports nerd shit, which is totally fine. Boxing. What does that stand for? World Boxing Association. Okay. Leon Spinks lost his World Boxing Associated heavyweight title to Muhammad Ali last night to become world champion. Wow. Okay. Well, certainly would like to have boxing that I actually cared about going on right now, but it is unfortunate. People are losing their jobs. Still, people are getting laid off. I've seen. It's weird now that people would start putting into effect furloughs and layoffs. I always just find some of that suspicious when they've had this time, but I guess better to have someone a job and bleed them or let them. But they never tell people. So, but what I've noticed is no one is more heartbroken for people losing their jobs than other writers. Let me see if I can pull something up. It's like and I can say this, formerly being a part of the unemployment process. I've never seen anyone like heartbroken for like roofers, Where's that tweet? Let me see if I can find the one. Writers, heartbroken, layoff. Oh my gosh. No, I can't find it, but it's always like, all right, I got laid off at, what's one that's, really doing that? Sports Illustrated today. And it's like, oh my God, I'm so heartbroken. And this is someone else, a competitor. For that, you guys did great stuff. I'm so sad. I'm so very sad. Maybe it's because they are paid to write and they embellish, so to say, to tell a story, but it's quite odd. There are a ton of articles on how to manage corona layoffs with compassion. I'll tell you how mine went. Hey, Thomas. Well, actually, it first it was... the person I was working with was like, man, I'm stressed out right now. But yeah, people getting phone calls and getting furloughed and shit. And I was like, oh, I think I have one of those phone calls scheduled here in a couple hours. He's like, no. And sure enough, that's what it was. And then the official layoff, I got called. I was like, yep, never an easy conversation to have, but got lay off. And yep. You're a good guy. You'll land on your feet. It's a tough time. And I was like, yeah, any idea, any feedback you give me, like, what you're hearing from the industry, what you're hearing from New York? And it's just like, yeah, it's a tough time out there. It's a tough time, and you're gonna have to start paying your Cobras. So lay off the Grubhub. Yeah. So. I don't know. What do we have coming up? I have nothing because I'm getting some stability under me as we go. I'm not doing any outside comedy shows without a microphone at this time, unless someone invites me. So if I get an invitation, I'll go. But I will wait until we get this goddamn vaccine and we can do indoor stuff, or at least like closed in with a microphone where there's not. I've literally seen dogs running through shows and like just throwing the whole thing. It's like, and then there's kids like at the park ones. It's like there's kids. How do you tell your clap light joke when there's kids around? It's comedy club. It's not the Shakespeare Festival. So, anyways, that's probably it for now, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your week. It'll even be a shorter time. Think about it that way. Don't think about it that I was late with the podcast. Think about it that you'll have even less time before you'll get to see or preferably listen to my voice. Anyways, take care. I'll check in with you on Tuesday because I will be accountable because I just said it. All right. Check you later.